it's so nice. I like that little song. All right, this is my restart bag, guys. I just made it. You can buy it on my website at www.restartmh.com. Did I sound like a radio show person? Anyhow, these are some of the tools which I will go over during this video. I went ahead and used my black wing pencil to get the sketch down, as well as the masking fluid, because it took a long time and I didn't feel like you guys really needed to, well, maybe you do, I don't know, but basically I took the masking fluid by Molotov, and tell me if I'm saying this wrong, because I don't know how to say this, and masked out where I wanted the white areas to be. This is a 2mm Molotov, I don't know. Anyhow, it's basically max out anything you want to keep white, and then when it dries, you rub it off at the end. Then I'm using the Daniel Smith Ultra Fine Watercolor Stick in phthalo blue to, and quite watered down actually, to get that blue base on the ice cream cone. The ice cream cone is facing down on the table and it's melting. And then I'm using, oh my gosh, I love this stuff. Oh my God, it's so creamy. It's so wonderful. It is the, oh gosh, what is it called again? The Kuretake Zig Gonzai Tambi Watercolor Pans. It's a staff favorite at Art Snacks. And this color, I'm not sure what color it is, because it didn't come in there. I got a green and I got like a tanny pink color, which of course was perfect for doing like an ice cream cone. I also did this in the background. When I do these videos, I only use the tools that came in the box. I never pick up anything else. The only thing I use, aside from what I get in these boxes, is the pencil or whatever I'm using to sketch. And of course, like, I've got it blocked out with some tape. It's not, I feel like that's not cheating, although there have been times where I feel like it is. So this is the pan. I have never used the Kuretake Zig Gonzai Tambi watercolor pans. It's a mouthful. And I'm putting it on with the Kuretake Zig brush, H2O Petite Water Brush. That item retails for $4, and the pans retail for $2.50. I've never bought pans, so I don't know if that's a good price, but I will tell you, I had so much fun using these colors. They had such a range with a layering. As you layered, you got darker and darker. You can really see that in the cone later. They also, even without putting water in them, are still very creamy. Like, they never got really hard. Now, I haven't looked at them today to see, you know, as they've dried, if they are very hard, but I'll tell you what, the consistency of them, as somebody who likes to do watercolor and oil, like, it almost felt like oil painting. It was a really, really, really cool. I was very happy with them. I still have that song in my head. Okay, so in order to draw this ice cream cone, it was actually really simple. I know I didn't do the sketch on camera, but I literally used a ruler to create kind of a triangle with a scoop shape to it where the ice cream sits. And then you just kind of draw squiggly lines in whatever shape you want the ice cream cone. This is obviously a 2-scoop ice cream cone that's starting to melt, so it's a little flatter on the bottom. You can obviously, if you like this and want to copy me, follow the lines just like you would in a photo. But basically you could make it bigger or smaller, different colors. You know, it would have been nice to be able to do it in like ice cream colors, but I also thought doing it in these blues and greens might be kind of cool and make it a little more challenging. So we're just going to call it blueberry ice cream, or I don't know, some other kind of blue dessert type thing. And we'll go from there. Maybe it has some pistachio in it. The area that I'm doing now is kind of a splash of ice cream that fell off onto the counter as it fell. And there are some highlights there that I use with the masking liquid, which is in pen form. And if you go watch my video that shows how it works, you push down, it flows very nicely. It comes out blue so you can see where it's at. And don't worry about going right over top of it, because obviously it's masking those areas, so you'll get a nice white underneath. You could go, and I thought about doing this, going over top of the white with the tan and giving it like an under layer after I was done with everything, But you'll see at the end I ended up liking it, so I didn't do that. But anyhow, you could do that. I guess you could even do a wash and then do the masking over top of it. I'm sure there's all kinds of different ways to do it. I don't know. As you know, I'm still kind of learning all this. So anyhow, I took the colors and I kind of tried to define general areas of the 2 scoops of ice cream by going around the edges and just creating folds and layers, highlighting and darkening and layering, utilizing the 2 different colors. I did in a pan, like a mixing palette, I guess, mix different levels of each one. So I mixed a little bit of the phthalo blue with the green. I mixed some green with the tan. I mixed some tan with the blue. And I just did a bunch of variations of them. I wish I had taken a picture of that because it was actually really interesting and allowed me a lot of flexibility as I was painting this in. As I said, and then under the ice cream, there's going to be a little shadow. Again, I didn't have a gray, I didn't have a black, I didn't have anything other than the pen. I do have the Plum Tester fine liner, which is water soluble, I found out, and it made for a nice addition. But it was hard to get a good shadow out of it. I was able to put more depth behind the shadow, but the shadow ultimately ended up being the blue and the green, some variation of it. And I think it kind of works. In fact, when I got finished, instead of it looking like a shadow, I feel like it kind of looks more like just more ice cream, which I'm fine with too. You just have to be creative with it. So here I am taking let me say this. I never thought about this before, but like the pans and the watercolor containers. I don't know what the ratio is as far as the amount that you get, but I feel that the Daniel Smith Extra Fine Watercolor Stick, which retails for $14.75, first of all, it's super intense. A little bit goes a long way. And I'll tell you what, there's got to be a lot of paint in there. So you can use the water brush and just kind of, put a little water on it and just rub it on the tip. That sounded phallic. Rub it on the top of the stick and use it that way. Or you can actually sharpen it as well and use it to draw with. I haven't tried that yet, but that is something that they recommend. You could, I guess you could do that. I don't really see the point when you can use a brush, but either way, it's fun to try different things. I didn't have any issues here getting like a really nice thin line with the Kuretake H2O brush, so, it's fine, but whatever. This box, if you watch my opening, I wasn't super, super impressed at first, because I kind of was like, oh my god, and keep in mind, for me, it wasn't the items themselves, it was the fact that, and hopefully Art Snack sees this, because every item I've gotten since I started I guess it's only been 3 months, so it's since May, so only 3 months, so maybe I shouldn't bitch, but I've only gotten blues, greens, and yellows. I haven't gotten any other tones, and tan obviously is a different tone, but I still kind of categorize that in sort of the yellow family, although it is slightly more pink. But it's sort of like every time I get a box, I'm like, oh, I'd love like a red or a pink or a purple or something that is in the sort of more feminine family. But I haven't received any of those colors. So I'm hoping that next month I will receive maybe some fall tones or something that I can do something fall-y with. Anyhow. The reason I chose to do an ice cream cone is because I am doing what is called the Summer Artathon Challenge. This is something that I did on my website, on Art Snacks Mix. Honestly, I'm hoping that they'll notice me and I can become an ambassador or some version of that. I really enjoy the concept of Art Snacks, and even though I'm new to it, I've been watching it for some time. And so I've got a challenge going, which a lot of people are doing, and I'm happy to be getting the input back. That we're only on week 2. Week 1 was, Celebrate, for obvious reasons. And at the end of this video, at the end of the video where I do the box opening, you'll see that what I did for that. It's Statue of Liberty. And that was done with watercolor markers and watercolor. The next week, which is this week here, is the ice cream challenge. So I thought, what better way to kind of kill two birds with one stone than to do my ice cream. So it kind of all fit together. The fact that I had these colors, that I could make it work, the fact that I had to do this challenge, kill two birds. Now I can do some money making art on the side, and I have more time instead of having to do two pieces of art. Not that I don't love it. I love doing art, and I'd do it all day long, every day, at every minute of every hour if I could. And I kind of do. So anyhow, this is where I come in and I'm starting to add the shadow in. I mixed all three of the colors together here. So it's the green, the tan, the blue, in order to try to make sort of a gray color. It kind of worked. You can definitely see that it's a different tone than the ice cream itself. I went over top of it. Oh, this paper. This is the Grumbacher Hidden Wire Mixed Media Sketchbook. It's 7 by 10. It retails for $22. It's the handiest sketchbook around, apparently. It has in and out pages, and it's ideal for dry media and light washes. I went a little over the top on the right corner early on when I was doing the background, and I got a little bit of lifting of the paper. Other than that, I didn't have any issues. The paper is a little thinner than I'm used to working with, but it is a sketchbook after all. The paper does come in and out, which you see in my box opening. Overall, I was fairly happy with it. No issues taking the tape off. It was very easy to work on. It absorbed the water fairly well. I don't know if I would do a heavy wash on it as it states, but it worked fine. My issue is I don't know if I'm going to be great with in and out pages because I tend to carry things around with me everywhere, and I can see those pages coming out very quickly. So although I'm not saying that that is a problem, I don't know. It might be fine. I just tend to do that. So anyhow, here I am taking, as I said earlier, the Plum Chester, and I believe, let me see, hold on. This is the Plum Chester P8 Fine Liner. It's a new product and an Art Snacks exclusive. It is a 0.8 millimeter tip, as it says, P8. Every box I get seems to have a fine liner in it, so I've gotten a lot of experience with them. I do like this fine liner quite a bit, actually. I think it is really nice. It helped me add a lot of depth. It gave me that darkness I needed in order to pop the ice cream cone up a little bit. And yeah, I was pretty happy with it. No complaints, really. So here I am rubbing the masking fluid off, going back in and doing some detail work. While the masking fluid was on and it was dry, I went in and just added dark areas, different colors of the blue, different colors of the green, in order to have those colors inside the cone. And you can see how great and how fine that masking fluid worked. And I actually kept some of it in there around the edges so that I got that darker cone area. And it worked great. I'm so happy with it. It came out really good. It's actually even better in person. But you can see I'm just using that fine liner as it dried after taking the masking fluid off, adding some detail work, just going around those edges, those corners to, just make them a little bit more detailed and final. And I'm signing it, and there's my ice cream cone. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one.